flu shot. Ever. Never, ever have I taken the flu shot.
Neither. I'm afraid of them, actually.
Me too. I don't like shots.
Yeah. I'm afraid of what's inside the shot. Like, I don't like the... I'd rather get the flu. If I'm going to get the... Like, if you ever watch any of the stuff, they talk about vaccinations and shots and all the stuff. I'm afraid of them in that way.
Right. And, even if you mention like I have a client that her hair and her nails are growing because of the supplements. Somebody out there on Facebook or LinkedIn might be suffering from some hair loss. And so, or not feeling good.
So the bed and breakfast that we went to
in Kentucky,
in Louisville, Kentucky, not one, but both young girls serving us at the bed and breakfast for breakfast. We're sick. They were talking like this, they couldn't hardly talk. And they're sniffling and snorting around, and they're bringing us our coffee and bringing us our stuff. And I looked at Sharon and I said, okay, this will be a test,
And it was a test. It was a good test.
And all I can say is we were wearing our Euphoria shields.
So it's those target words that get people that might hit somebody out there that, wow, even my nephew that I signed up over Thanksgiving, he was on a bunch of supplements. And he's like, I'm very happy in my supplements. I'm like, are you really? And I go, well, too bad you're going to be on this. So he actually wanted to be on this before we even, he was like, can I get on this?
Yes.
I'm telling you, he asked permission to get on Euphoria.
It's kind of funny too, because he was talking about how he liked what he was doing and his regime. And then 2 days later, before they left, he's like, on the pre-nutrition, he says, this stuff's got some kick, he said. And he says, I'm moving more than I used to.
Yeah. 28 years old, and he's like, I've never gone to the bathroom this much in my life. And I go,
he said, that's good for you.
That's good. Well, obviously, Eric, you got some bad bacteria in that gut that needs to come out. And he's like, yeah, I think I do. He goes, I feel this big time.
So he was feeling good. He got to walk me home. He loved the energy that he had. That was just in 2 days.
And Rob, you didn't hear this because we have this special meetings on Saturdays. But I was telling you about I was telling the king about my brother.
After the company meeting, you're talking.
Yeah, after the company meeting,
we do a little side deal.
He had a blood test taken not too long ago, and he was extremely low in vitamin D, which is very common. He lives in New York. We live in Chicago. You guys live in Maryland. You're low in vitamin D. Well, he thought he's going to go over the counter and get his vitamin D. Well, I think he started out with 500 units. Had another blood test, didn't budget. Went to 1,000 units, didn't budget. Went to, I think, up to 5,000 to 10.
It was
I think it was up to 10,000 units of vitamin D that had finally moved on his blood work. I said, you don't need that anymore if you take Euphoria. It will be perfect for what your body needs. And he goes, all right, Sharon, I'll try it. So he swapped. But I'm just saying, what those blind nutrition, he's a scientist, and he had to experiment with over the counter just to get enough to boost his level up. And it was 10,000 units. Do you believe that?
Yeah, and went and got tested.
Who does that you take the stuff in Walgreens.
Yeah.
You're just taking like 500 units thinking that it's boosting you. It's not.
Well, we have no idea what we're taking really. We do all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So testimonies like that I try to give to the group, and you can use my testimonies. And any little testimonies, it's going to hit a chord somewhere out in that social media, realm.
So Sharon, also possible, get those testimonies shared on the Experiencing Euphoria.
Right.
Yeah, we should.
We do. I send them to that. My people, once they sign up, I send them to Experience Euphoria. Yeah.
yeah, kind of connect them.
Oh, I can.
That.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can. Yes.
The reason I think that that's important is because even if they're just a customer, I keep them away from the business, my customers. I keep them away from the business, but I connect them to experiencing euphoria, because if they're only a customer and they're reading or they're seeing, like through Facebook, like we do, like post it pop up, because now once you're connected to it, you can just see that stuff occasionally. If they happen to see something that their mom or their brother or their spouse, they read something about something, and they word association, they automatically put it with another name, somebody that they know, they can easily refer that product at that point in time, saying, oh my gosh, I just read and I'm on this thing myself, and I just now was reading how it worked for so-and-so, and I thought of you because you have so-and-so, you know. So I connect them, the customers, to that, because I think it's a great resource.
And I have one more thing that I wanted to say about LinkedIn. I want you to, when you're on, start following and connecting to people that you may not even know, but are similar. They're into health, they're into fitness, they're into this, they're a chiropractor. Start just connecting. If they recommend a connection, connect. Okay, just start connecting to people that you don't even know. I'm getting people wanting me right now because I'm a personal trainer, and I'm getting people all over now messaging me, hey Sharon, could you join this group? Can you join this? Because you like your trainer, you're in health. I even got an interview the other day because of LinkedIn, because they want me to do a boot camp in fit body. So start following more people that maybe you don't even know, but have similar interests in what you do. That's another suggestion.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That goes hand in hand with
Eric Worre says that.
Yeah.
To keep following people.
And what we had talked about when we hit those groups, for example, on Facebook, you know, we start that idea, but I didn't follow through very well with that.
Yeah, Eric says that every week you should look for groups that you share similar interests.
Right. That's what I mean.
Minded people. So, for example, if you're a hunter, you know, if you're a hiker, if you're a biker, if you're a bowler, if you're a pool player, whatever it is, right. You know, you look for those groups and you join those groups and you just contribute in conversation. Like you just contribute. They start to see you. They start to dialogue with you. It always comes about the friendship first, the relationship first.
Right.
You know, so that's what he says. He's like, you know, you should be joining groups. You should be expanding outside of the box.
Right.
That's what happens to everybody, and me included, is, and the size of your box is different. Some people think, well, my warm market list is like this. Somebody else thinks my warm market list is like this. Somebody else thinks my warm market list is like that. Well, I got news for you. Whether it's 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or 6 months, your warm market list is gone. Then what?
Right.
Everybody's warm market. It's gone. Like you're constantly meeting new people, or constantly have a way to network in with another group, it's almost like another leg, like another team can literally evolve.
Yes.
And something that I wanted to share with you before we end up, and that was, and I haven't done it right now this year. I haven't done it, but I did do it in the first generation of this DNA technology, in the prior company. And that was, I wanted to build in my backyard. I wanted to build in my backyard, meaning in Baltimore, where I could have people that were right here. But I was sick and tired of my warm market. Like, it was like the box, like you're out. Warm market's done. Whether it's a week or a month or 6 months, your warm, it's done. So I actually went and found the BNI group. I don't know if you've ever heard this story or not, but I'll share it with you. BNI is a networking group that are around the country, BNI. And they charge you like $500 a year to go. But you can go and be a substitute for people for free. And they love substitutes. Because if you join that group, one of the commitments are that you're there every week. The reason that you have to be there every week is because you have to contribute to the group. Every week they get to know a little bit more about your personality, about your family, about your business, about you. And every week people give leads. So if I know somebody that mentioned in the last week that they were having a construction project, I would refer them to the contractor. Somebody that's needs insurance, I would refer. So they exchange these leads. Anyway, there's other groups besides BNI, but I want to share the story. So I go into the group, never belonged to a networking group ever. So I go into this group and I'm the DNA guy. Literally, like the DNA guy. Just like today, in the DNA guy. They're like, what the hell is that? Like they're used to the accountant coming to the group. They're used to the title company, the landscaper. They're used to the insurance guy or gal. They're used to those type of professionals coming to the group. So I joined the group and I'm the DNA guy. So right away, it's just like I'm looked at like a all weirdo or what the hell? They don't even know. So, what if you could look into your DNA, know what you need to look and feel your best? Would you want to know, my company's the first company to be able to swab and personalize a product made for you? And it literally took not the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time of sitting down in front of somebody like Sharon was sharing with the post. Not the first or second one. It wasn't the third one. People have to be touched multiple times. I don't remember whether it was in my second month or it was in my third month. But there was a crack that happened. When I say I cracked into the group. Because at that point in time, by month 3, I was pretty much a good, when I walked in a room, people knew. They were like, hey, there's Rob. They're like, how are you, man? How's your week? And then I was close enough to them to call them by their nickname or say, how was your week? Or, what's going on? Or, you now have that bond. Well, one guy, it was the first one, the insurance guy. After the meeting, the one meeting, he says, I want to sit down and have a one-on-one with you. And the long story short was he swapped and he loved the product. And the next thing I know, a construction owner of a very large construction company, he swapped. And then he had his own story about how he never slept right. And then all of a sudden his sleep changed. And then the fingerprint company and the investigative services owner, she swapped. And she came dancing in the room one day. I mean, twirling around. This is like a 55, 60-year-old person, not some young kid, twirling around. I just got back from the doctors. And I'll tell you what, he started to share their story. Well, before you know it, after that crack happened, I'm not going to say that the whole entire room swapped, but I bet you that 70% of that group, and that group consisted of probably 25 to 30 local business owners in my backyard. All business owners, all entrepreneurs in my backyard. About 70% of that group ended up on the product. And affording a product was just not, these were people that the money is like Sharon said, it wasn't like whether it was 49 or whether it was 60. It's not the money. They were on the product, they loved the product. So I share the story because if you think you ran out of your box, if you think you ran out of a warm market, and you find yourself in your backyard wanting to build, and you want to find a meetup group, and then just go hang out. Don't have the intention in your head that you need to swab someone that night or you need to sign someone up that night. It'll take a them getting to know you a little bit and you getting to know them. And the second time they see you, they'll be impressed, because a lot of people go to those meetups and they're so focused on wanting to sell something, whatever it is that they got, they're looking to sell. And then you don't see them there again. You know, but it's the people that go there consistently that build the network, that build the relationship, that forge the friendships. The girl that I do my real estate business with right now, Susan, if you've ever heard me mention her name, Mandy, I know you have. Guess where I met her from? That meetup group. You know, there's a whole nother story inside of that meetup group. Like it's a good experience to be around those people, business-minded people, entrepreneurial type of people, like, know, and trust you. They get to like, know, and trust you. They can't like you, know you, and trust you in 15 minutes. Or first time you popped your head in and popped out. They're wondering if you're just like the majority of everybody else, is where you just want to try and sell something and leave and nobody ever sees you again. But if you really want to like network in your backyard, I'm telling you that I'm a believer in those networking groups. And you have an offering in your backyard. You have an offering. You have a product. You have a business opportunity that's attached to it, yes. But you have a product that once people get, like we talked about in the beginning, they get a little nugget here and they get a little nugget there, and then they get a little bit more. And that validation and that credibility comes together. You have a great opportunity right in your backyard with a lot of people that are right in your backyard, right there in your backyard. It just takes a little bit of time to actually get, number one, is to get into a networking group. And then number two, just network. Just literally like serve. We all hear it. But some people don't listen. They just hear. They hear it, but they don't listen. Hearing it is all I heard. I've heard that before. Listening and doing is something different. Like doing, meaning that you go there. Susan's phone call to me was her furniture and personal belongings were being put out by a sheriff in a real estate office that she co-signed for someone's rental agreement, commercial lease. And she, in panic, picks up the phone and she's like, oh my God, I just got a phone call and I don't even know what's going on. And they told me the sheriff is at my office and they're putting the stuff out on the ground, and like, I don't even know what to do. Is there any way you can meet me there or help me? This is how Susan and I, we met at a meetup group. And after so many weeks of being there, that's the phone call outside of the group that I actually got. So I say serve first. I wasn't like, well, you didn't swab yet. So I can't come over there to take a look at anything or try to help you out. You never know how you're going to serve first. You never know, but you go there. And the reason I say listen versus hear, you hear, serve first. But if you really go into the meetup group and you really, if you're looking at somebody and you can tell they're the local insurance person, they're the local realtor, they're the local whatever, it doesn't, whatever they are, they're the landscaper. Figure out, like, what is it that you could do? How could you help that landscaper? I don't know. You all have resources that I don't know about. Who you know in your phone, I don't know. But make magic happen. Connect somebody with something that has nothing to do with Euphoria. Nothing. Just connect somebody with something. Start to contribute in that group. Stay in the game. Stay in the group. Stay liked. Stay a contributor. Stay in that group long enough, magic will happen. It will come back. I just totally believe that. As a matter of fact, I'll make an open confession or an open statement here. I think that that's going to be my goal going into this first quarter of 2020 for me personally. And that is for me in my own personal market right here in my backyard is to step out and to find another group, and to get back in and to do exactly what I just now said. And then just not looking for magic. I'm not looking for a get rich quick. I'm not looking for instant results. But what I'm looking for is after 2 or 3 months, after a relationship is now built with like 20 or 30 other local professionals in a community, 20 to 30, and the relationship is now built for like 2 or 3 months, it's powerful. Those people can introduce you to some people along with joining themselves, and then realizing that what you have is like you weren't the guy that came in or the gal that came in to try to like push. As a matter of fact, that's why they kind of attracted themselves to you, because they're like, man, this guy like looks like he's got it going on. Like, he's just like not pressed, not stressed, not trying to, you know, like push his agenda, more here to try to help out. Like, how does he even make money? Let people try to figure you out.
Hey, Rob.
I think that's my best advice.
Gail had her hand up.
Yeah, I kind of smile when you talked about BNI, because I did join a BNI group that, in fact, it meets at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I have brought Randy as a guest, and he has subbed for me. So, you know, it's nice because besides the euphoria, it helps him get out his limo company. And the time he came as a guest, I mean, my 60 seconds, I had to laugh because it's what Sharon has said. I said, I've sat here and listened to everybody around the circle either sniffle or cough except Randy and I. I said, flu season. And every single one of you is having an issue with your immune system except the two of us. And it was really kind of funny because all of a sudden they all started listening to each other sniffle and cough. But you know, I thoroughly enjoy it because you're right, it is professional people that refer, and it's one of the best things I've done. So I'm glad you're thinking of doing it again in January. But I do have another question. Do you know why our regional launch was moved from March to July?
Yes, today on today's call, and that's because originally the July was in Phoenix, and when that was posted today, and there's about 12 of us on this call, including corporate, Don Malott made a statement, and now Bettina and Kelly moved to Arizona. They're new residents to Arizona. Malott said, I don't know how much you know about Arizona. He goes, it's nice to be here right now. But I'm telling you, in July, even the locals or the residents like leave out of Arizona. Like not too many people visit Arizona. Like it's not the time. So they asked if they could do it in Arizona any other time other than like July. So they actually switched today.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I mean, we were in Vegas the end of June.
That's true.
You know, if people are inside and they're interested, they'll be there. I mean, it kind of threw me that we got, you know, put off 6 months for the regional launch.
I'm not the message.
I know. I'm not blaming you, Rob.
I'm just the message. I'm just telling you what happened on today's call.
Illinois people.
Yeah, don't blame Rob.
It's our.
My takeaway with Rob was he goes to BNI organizations and he sells crack. I got it. I got that. I got the word crack. I got it.
So that's the deal. That's what happened. They voted it out of.
We're gonna call you Walter White.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, Jerry had her hand up too.
Flores.
Oh my gosh, I'm taking that personal now right there. Y'all don't want to come to Phoenix in the middle of 120 degrees? I don't understand that. This is why we have pools and air conditioning. Seriously.
We just had a pool party.
A pool party with air conditioning. Yeah, I get it. People might be turning their nose up, but I just had to chime in there. I live here year round, so.
So I actually, believe it or not, I've never been there. I've never been to Phoenix, but I mean, I would have thought just like Gail, like I live in Baltimore and the humidity in Baltimore is high. So the humidity is high. So when I go to Las Vegas and they tell me it's 100 degrees, or you come to Baltimore, it's 100 degrees, and you come to Baltimore and you walk outside, you're wet because the humidity is high. You go to Vegas, it's a dry heat. It's different.
So I hear it's a dry heat.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I didn't get to make the final call. I just got to listen today to a suggestion that they made. Was there any way that they could switch that? And out of everybody that was on the call, nobody objected. I didn't object. If I would have known Gail would have objected, I would have said I'm objecting.
Well, it throws us back 6 weeks or 6 months.
Yeah, no, it's a half of a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, half of a year. So
I get it.
Okay, now I'm understanding. I was call me a little slow today.
Illinois just doesn't have that. We don't have a creator. We don't have a generator. We need to get a really big, powerful leader here like Randy.
Yeah, right.
And maybe we can pull some screens and be on those phone calls. But yeah, that's what I'm getting out of it.
Okay, I understand. At first, I wasn't tying together the Arizona and Illinois, but I get it. Our slot got bumped because Arizona was going.
they just switched them. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Interesting. But
And who knows? They hey, listen. I mean, it switched today just like that. And if a couple people start chatting or whatever, a couple other ones could actually switch. Who knows? I don't know.
So I guess, Gail, I would say maybe that should just fire us up to make an impact enough that we can't be ignored. And maybe 6 months is too long.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months.
Yeah. Well,
maybe
and I've planned.
line in half.
I've planned my knee replacement around that date in March. So now I have to rethink it.
Yeah.
So I can be able to go wherever we're going. So.
Okay, got it.
All righty. Well, are we all good?
I'm good.
Well, hey, I know, Rob, you've been on but I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, and we won't have a meeting next Tuesday, right, Rob? Robert and Rob.
No.
No, it's Christmas Eve. I'm cooking, and
Santa will be the last minute gifts, the food, the everything. So, but
there's a but.
Wrap up with this, and that is I need to get you guys the link. I'll get it to our Wealth Builders page. I'm going to email it to Rob Carlisle. Rob can get it posted onto the page, and then everybody that's on this call, I don't want to say like promote the shit out of the call, like pack the lines, like it, but what I would do is I would say, listen, Randy and Sharon, we're putting together a private call. It's literally just for a handful of people, a smaller group of members that's in our team, not Rob's team. It's our team. And it's going to be with Ron, CEO. And it's going to be on the 27th. It's going to be about 20 minutes. you know, would you like to join in? You know, would you like to hear a State of the Union or, the plans for 2020?
It would be a nice call. It would be a very big call. If we had every nutritionist participate, wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
So what you can also do, what we could do collectively, all of us, not Rob, not like me. I mean, I like did a little video tonight for this call tonight. And I'm not saying I won't do another one, but like for Rob Carlisle, for like Jerry Flores, for Gail, for Janice, the Sweeneys, for Stana, like for you guys, like for people to actually do a FaceTime. I don't care if it's just 20 seconds, 30 seconds, short snippet. It says, hey, Wealth Builders, I hope you guys are ready for the 27th at 11:40, because we are privileged enough to have a private call with our team and the CEO of the company for a very special message. And I look forward to seeing you on that call. And that message, I feel, has more of an impact if it comes from several of the leaders. When Ron wanted to have the quick kits launched, and he calls me on the phone, he calls Travis and Summer, he calls Tina and Kelly and whoever else that he calls on the phone and says, we're going to do at 11:45 on Thanksgiving Eve, Black Friday, we're going to do a whatever it was. I don't know what it was called, a cake or pie or something it was. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was that evening. It was Thanksgiving Eve. It was the right before Black Friday. And so he got to have that message. He got to have that message by several different voices, several different leaders, right? That actually went into the field. And one person that actually bought a 10-pack, believe it or not, was somebody in Jerry Flores' organization who I hadn't heard from, didn't even know he was on the thing, on the call, had no clue. And then when I did find out, he calls me up and he goes, man, you really hit it, man. When you said that this is like the barrier of entry, this is like the irresistible offer is what I said. I said it was the irresistible offer. The $40 for your freaking kit and 99 bucks. Like, this is the irresistible. Like, it's not getting better than this. Okay. There's no smoke or mirrors or hyper BS. Like, this is your irresistible offer. It's $40. Okay? The barrier of entry. And so Shane went out and he bought the 10-pack. But so Shane was somebody that I hadn't really heard from in a little while. I hadn't really heard from Shane in a little while. And then, oh, wow, like he engaged and he has a plan to deploy those packages. And congratulations kudos to Shane for taking action and realizing the irresistible offer that was there. But why I share that is because that's what I want you to do. That's what I want the Sweeneys to do. That's what I want the Kleins to do. That's what I want Jerry to do. That's what I want Robert Carlisle to do. I want you to take the wheel and participate in a short message on our live feed on the Facebook Wealth Builders, coming from you, non-scripted, planting a seed, and inviting people for the 27th. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea, and I'm going to defend you and say that's not the first time you've asked for that. And we've played shy on that. We've played small on that. So, deal. We'll do it.
Awesome. So I'll put that message in writing so we can share. So Rob, I'm going to forward you an email that Craig Smith sent to me today.
Okay.
And then you can kind of get that posted on the wall.
Yep.
And then all of our leadership here will be able to just convey in their own words. And I really want, I mean, if some of you are afraid to like do, then I'm hoping that you can step out of that. I'm also hoping that if you're partnerships or you work together, and I think that's magical, like Janice and Rich, like Randy and Sharon. So if you are in like a partnership and you truly do work your business together, that's like a 1-2 punch. Man, if you can do your message of that live when you're together, like literally like, hey, this is Janice and Rich. How are you guys doing? Just wanted to reach out to you, you know, whatever you want to say. I'm not scripting this. This is raw. This is you. But you're inviting them and they don't want to miss. And this is a private call with just our team and the CEO of the company. This is when it's going to take place. And I think that by each person participating in that, doing that, it's going to have more of a punch. It has more of an impact. And I really, really appreciate each and every one of you if you will step up and actually do that. I really do. Like, thank you in advance for that, because we need that. We need that. I said before, this is not like the Rob team or the Rob show. Like, I just want to be. I'm just a spoke in the wheel. Spoke in the wheel. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. So, all right.
Deal.
Guess that's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a deal, Rob. Rich and I'll step up.
Yay!
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey guys, thank you for getting on tonight.
Rob.
Your family, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And I will see you guys within 10 days.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Bye-bye.